welcome back to another video of learning SwiftUI with me. So hopefully you enjoyed the last video about how to create list and navigation view, and hopefully you also had a chance to play around the view decoupling by yourself and the SF symbol. So just let me know if you have any questions and feel free to comment below so I can answer them. So we will continue with the session by implementing a custom detail view. So to actually show off some detailed information about the data in the list and a way to link from the list to the detail view as well. So before we start, please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos, and hit the like button so more people can watch and learn how to code in SwiftUI. So let's start by creating the detail views that we need to show the detailed information from the list. So let's start with a new file. Go create a, or you can double click on, or you can just hit finish. Then create a new SwiftUI file. It's called content detail. So here's going to be our new detail view here. So the reason we need this instead directly adding more information onto the list is almost similar to decoupling the view. But because the size of the device, as you can see right here, the size of a device, it could be smaller, or the UI could be more compact with the features. If some of the application might have more features, or if you might have some more features to show in the application. So a better way actually to design an application is to bring user to a more detailed screen in order to have a more open space to show them some more detailed information you want to tell them. So the list view screen will not be full of stuff, which could eventually lead to a poor UI design from this list view here. It could end up with a lot of stuff. Let's drag this up a little bit first. Okay, so Apple actually provided a create documentation or a guide to help you better understand the human interface guideline. I will put the link in the description down below so you guys can go take a look. So basically, they show you how you can show design and iOS app from those categories like platform, foundations, patterns, components, inputs, technologies. So feel free to actually pause the video to learn more on this topic, or you can go ahead and read about it afterwards. So let's go ahead and get into the code. Let's start to creating some stuff. Let's go to the content view here. We want to show some more information in the content view. So let's say we want to have a some more information. Let's start with the VStack. So we can group everything together. We want to have an image. And we want to probably pass the information, the image name here, so we can actually properly show the image. So let's call a var item image. Item image name. So string. And we can put the item image name right here. Next, we want to show a text. Text probably going to be the title or the name of the item. So let's just call a item name. It's going to be a string. Next, we're going to give a type or category. So let's just call a item type. But for now, item type actually don't have anything. We don't have anything to pass in from the array that we created on the list view. So let's give a default one. Let's call it vegetable. Let's add this into here. And next, we want to show some more interesting description for this particular item. So we also don't have that information yet. We're going to add that in the future video when we talk about the data model and API stuff. So we can actually download this information online instead of hard-code it into the actual project for more like a security concern and a more dynamic, data-driven development. We can talk about more of that in the future videos. Item description. It's going to be a string. Let's just say this is a vegetable that is good for you. It is healthier option to eat vegetable every day. Um, maybe you can say something to learn more about this particular vegetable. Please go on Google and search it. Let's just use that as our default description for now. So let's add that into our text item description. And then we have to add those missing parts so our preview provider can actually load something. For now, let's just give a default stuff. Let's just give it a tomato, and item name is going to be tomato. Okay, so currently if we just run this right now, it's going to be a blank. It's not really, it's not blank, sorry. If we run this right now, we're not able to see this yet because we don't have a way to link to this page. So we have to go back to the list view here. Since we have a navigation view, as the name suggests, is a navigation. So there is a way to utilize this navigation feature to actually push or show a view on top of this navigation containers. So in order to do that, it's as simply as using a navigation link, destination. Navigation link. You can use a destination. Destination, let's just call a content detail. Let's pass the image name in here. So it's going to be food. The item name also going to be food. And for the label, we can actually use this cell view right here. So let's give a quick run by press this button, this star play button right here. Now make sure to choose the proper iOS simulator you like to test on. But for our purpose, we're only gonna test on the iPhone. So let's just do that. All right, as you can see, all our table view or the list has been loaded up, and every item is actually still there. But as you can see, there is actually a little indicator there to show there might be something going on, more detail to it. So for now, let's click on this. So you can see, we can see our actual content, but it looks like we're missing some parts. But if you take a look, we do have tomato here. So if we go to meat, we do have meat there. So everything else is actually working properly. It just matter of a little bit UI, the design there. We have to make some adjustment, and the type is actually the same because we did not change of them. They are not a dynamic yet, same as the description. So let's make some adjustment in our code to make them look a little bit better. So for the image, I'm actually going to go to the cell view to actually copy over this section here. And the reason the image did not show up because we're missing a lowercase. And for the size, let's give a little bit 3 times size. So since I have a more room to show more information. And then for the first name here, I think it's more like a title. So we can use the font here, the default built-in font feature to give a title. Next, we can also give this item type a little font to give a headline. Description I think is fine, and also we notice the text was expand all the way to the edge of the screen. So let's add a little bit padding so they can look a little bit better there. So let's run this code again. And we click on them. Now you can see we got a tomato and a tomato vegetable and all the description. The view looks better now here. Since we're using the navigation link by default, iOS also give us a default back button for anything that we being pushed onto the navigation view. So if you have a more view that you want to push through a navigation link, you will always have a default uh, back button to go back. But you also have the option actually to adding a additional back button or a custom back button for you to show whatever a design you like, add onto the list or the detail view. Then you will be able to see the back button. But for now, we're just going to use the default one. If you switch another one, you can see the me is there and the image is there. Banana, same thing. Okay, but we noticed something here. Everything in between was actually a little bit too close. So let's make some little bit adjustment here. For the V stack, let's give a little bit spacing here. Let's give it 16. And run again. You can run either by hit the play button or you can hit the Command and R on your keyboard. Let's go back in there. Now you can see there's actual little bit spacing and it looks a little bit better now. Okay, but I think we want this thing to show all the way up. So let's make some change. In the detail view here, in the content detail view, at the very bottom of the V stack, let's give it a spacer. A spacer is, as it suggests it does, is a flexible spacer that expands along the major axis of its containing stack layout, or on both axes if not contained in a stack. So technically, it's adding some additional space to push everything to a direction. You could add on top or in between the bottom depending on what you try to achieve. But for this case, we should just be fine to add it down below. So run again. And you'll see everything being pushed to top here. Same as apple, same as a shrimp, same as a phone. Okay, so now we have this, now we create this detail view and we find a way to link the detail view from our list view here. But how about if we do not want this the indicator there? What we do? What should we do? So in order to do that, there's a little bit tricky way or a workaround because currently Apple by default do not have any feature or anything that we can use for in the SwiftUI to get rid of that. So in order to do that, we can actually do a Z stack. A Z stack basically is, as you can see right here by the definition, is a view that overlays as a subview, aligning them in the both axes. So basically, right on top of each other. So let's create a Z stack first. So inside this Z stack, we want to have this navigation link to be inside this Z stack. And then inside we're gonna have our destination, which is our content detail view. Then the label, we're gonna give a empty view. For the navigation link, we want to make it look like it's actually not there. So change the opacity to 0. And afterwards, give a customize the cell view that you like to show. And let's give a quick run, see what that look like. And now you have everything is look like this, but there's another way we can fix this. We can actually add a alignment to leading. Let's give a run again. Everything will be look like exactly like what we used to have, but you can actually click onto it without the little indicator to showing at the end, and everything still works as the same. So here you have the detailed view to show a detailed info. To show the detailed info, however, the data are all the same here, especially the type and the description. They're all the same. So we will actually explore more on the topic of a data model API in the coming videos. But before we go that far, I will explain and discuss the MVVM, MVC, and a design pattern. and also the dependency injection for that, which we will use pretty often and frequent in this sessions, doing this entire session. So probably in the next video, and hope you enjoy this video here. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys next time.